This week we had a couple of cooler days, and as the weather starts to cool down and summer is coming to an end, we are starting to get back into a more routine schedule that comes along with the fall time. I love how summer is so laid back and just feels so freeing to let kids sleep as long as they want to sleep and not rushing around in the morning. But all of those things are starting to come to an end, and I really do love getting back into a routine. I think it's great for the kids, and with that, it is time to really simplify and get systems in place to make everything run smoothly. As a mother and the homemaker, there are so many things that have to get done every day, just cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, cleaning up, doing the dishes, keeping up with the laundry, all the cleaning. There's a lot of things to get done, and I found that if I can really simplify my home, all of these things can get done so much easier. One big goal that I have for my house is I love to have the feeling that I can get my entire house clean and put back together in about 30 minutes. And the biggest secret for doing that is just having less things. Oftentimes I find myself shuffling different things around, trying to figure out where it goes, and then realizing that honestly, it is something that I don't even need or use in my house. And so instead of trying to shove it somewhere or find somewhere for it to go, I am better off by just donating it or getting rid of it. And so that is my biggest tip, and the biggest thing that I strive for in my own home is just having less stuff. Now, when you have a large family, that's not always easy to do because, there's just lots of shoes, there's lots of blankets, there's lots of clothes, there's lots of hats and gloves when we get into wintertime. But I can have a much more minimal approach on these things. So for example, for my kids, I have little bins in their closets for clothes, and I only keep a few outfits per kid per season. I try to keep a few play outfits, and then I try to have a couple of nicer outfits for when we're going out or for church. But for the most part, all of my kids' clothing can fit into one load of laundry, and this really simplifies my laundry routine, and it also makes it easy for my kids to put away and fold and keep track of their own clothes. Having too much stuff can really stress me out, and I think it's even better just for my kids. If they have less things, they play better with the toys that they have. They're able to keep things put away and tidy and clean. If I have them go into their rooms and clean up and it takes way too long or there's lots of tears, that's my way of knowing that we have way too much stuff and that we need to simplify, declutter, and get a bag of things to donate or pass around to other cousins so that their room can be a little bit easier for them to maintain. I have to be so intentional about what we bring into our home. If I let everything come into our house that we receive or get, or my kids collect from parades or fairs or birthday parties, we would be bursting at the seams. So So this is something that I have learned over the years of being a mother, that it's okay not to allow every single thing that I'm given to come into my home. Now I am so thankful when people pass down clothes or shoes or different things, because you know that's stuff that we are going to use, and that in the long run will save me a lot of time and money. But I'm always super intentional. Like I said, if I receive a bag of boys clothing, I will go through it and only bring in things that are nice or that are going to be in the right season and size, just to make sure that I'm not collecting things I'm going to be moving around later and making my house more cluttered. I recently redecorated my bedroom, and we added some nightstands in there, and I put some lamps on them, and I have been wanting to add some photos. So I'm super excited to tell you guys about today's video partner, Lian. This is the Lian Amber 4x6 photo printer, and this made this job super easy because I was able to print pictures right here in my home, right off of my phone. It connects to the Wi-Fi, and I just clicked it and printed. It was so easy to set up and use. I was super impressed with the quality of these photos. They have a 4-layer lamination. The top protective layer laminates the printed photos so that they will last, and it also makes them dust-proof, waterproof, and fingerprint proof. I also really love this printer because it's so convenient for storage because it's so small. I am a person that loves to print photos. You can ask my sisters. They always kind of laugh at me because I'm constantly taking photos and talking about the different places I'm going to put them in my home. I love making photo books because I think it's so fun to have these memories, and I'm afraid if they're just on my phone, I'm going to lose them. So I love to have the hard copies. Printer came with 20 sheets of the 4x6 printing paper, and it was so easy to load and set up and get it connected to my Wi-Fi. So if you want high quality photos printed straight from home, you guys can check out this photo printer. I have the link for it down in my description box below. After I got all of my photos printed and in the different areas of my home, I am starting on lunch. My kids and my husband were asking, "What are you making for lunch today?" And I said, "I'm making something with chicken, bacon, and cream." I did not know exactly what I was going to be making, but I had all of those ingredients in abundance in my refrigerator, and so I ended up making some creamy chicken with bacon in it and some mashed potatoes. This brings me to my next thought as I am talking about simplifying our home and making systems to make my home run more smoothly. When it comes from cooking from scratch, I have to remind myself that I don't have to overcomplicate it. It can be as simple as baking a chicken and some baked potatoes and maybe steaming some vegetables. Others days I like to maybe add some more ingredients and make something that might be a little bit more elaborate and fun, but it can be so simple to get 3 meals on the table every single day. The biggest thing for me is I don't like to stress over extensive meal plans. I like to just have meat in my refrigerator, defrost it. I like to keep my refrigerator and pantry stocked with essentials and staples to make different meals. I also like to make sure that my freezer is always stocked with meat. And with that, I can pretty much always come up with some type of meal. I think dinner time can become really overwhelming, and it can really easily become overcomplicated with meal planning and meal prepping and just keeping the staples in our home. I think it's really important to know that we don't have to make gourmet meals every single day, and that you can really keep this job very simple. Another huge thing for me in my house and a way to keep things in order is I think every single thing needs to have a home. If I find something isn't working in a certain area, I might try to move it to a different spot, and if it doesn't work there, I might move it to another spot, and then I realize, you know what, this thing is causing me more stress than to just get rid of it. So I really try to find a home for every single thing that comes into my house, and if it doesn't, then I will get rid of it. Earlier this summer, we went blackberry picking at my aunt and uncle's house. They have a huge blackberry farm, and we almost got through all of our blackberries, but we had a few left. And so I decided to make a quick blackberry cobbler, and I'm also making some vanilla ice cream. We get our milk from a local dairy farmer, and this week she had a bunch of extra cream that she offered to give to me. And so with that, I'm making some homemade vanilla ice cream to go with our blackberry cobbler. I think it's really important to constantly be reevaluating the different systems and things that we have set up within our home, because oftentimes things might stop working and we don't even really realize it's happening. This can happen just with the seasons changing, or if you have a new baby, or with school starting, and things that were working maybe in the summertime might not work as well in the fall time. This happened to me. Like a really small example of this is just in my pantry. There were the way that I had it organized before wasn't working anymore, just because, different ages of kids. When I have a toddler that can get in there, I need to make sure that all the glass things are up high. But then whenever the child's a little bit older, I like certain things down lower so they can help around the house. Just constantly things are changing. And so we have to reevaluate the different systems that we're using to make sure that our homes are running as smoothly as possible. As I was saying, the weather has been so cool this week. I have all the windows and doors open, and it's really giving me the itch to do some more like deep cleaning. I made a big bucket of some homemade wood floor cleaner. I have this recipe on my blog, so I'll link it for you down below. And I don't really mop too often. I like to get down on my hands and knees and really scrub just certain spots that look bad. I feel like a wood floor really does hide the stains well. Every once in a while I have to get down on my hands and knees and really get this floor clean and shining. Sometimes even our cleaning routine has to change. I know mine has a lot over the years of being a mother. Back when I only had a couple of kids and I was newly married, I had a very set cleaning schedule where, you know, on Monday I would clean the kitchen, Tuesday was bathroom day, you know, Wednesday was laundry day. And now for me, the easiest and best way for me to keep my home clean is really just kind of cleaning on the fly. I don't have any set cleaning days or cleaning routines. Just when I see something needs attention, I will spend a little extra time doing whatever project it is. Like today, wiping down these walls around the kitchen and dining room and living room. It's not any set time. It's just whenever I have a few extra minutes, I might just work quickly on a job to get that done. Over the weekend, we spent a lot of time as a family outside weeding all the different gardens and flower beds. We have a lot of landscaping around this house. My husband jokes and tells me that in our new house, he is going to put grass straight up to the house. There will be no landscaping because it's such a big job to keep up with. And I always say if we would just spend like 10 minutes a day weeding, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But for some reason, we can never keep up with that, and so all of a sudden it turns into this huge job where we have to spend an entire Saturday weeding all the different beds around our house. And so since we just got that done, I'm making a homemade weed control spray that I'm going to go out and spray around all of our beds just to help keep the weeds down in all the different areas that we already weeded. Now, like I said, summer is coming to an end, so I know this won't be a job that I'll have to do much longer. So again, I'll have to reevaluate and change up the different chores that we do, because in the summertime, there's a lot of things that need to be done outside. So maybe some deep cleaning and things don't get done on the inside that I will get to later on in the winter when there's less to do outside. You saw that I was also spraying my flowers. That spray also helps with bug control. So I like to spray my flowers to keep the bugs off of them. Every afternoon, I love making some type of special drink. Today, I am making a vanilla maple latte. It's always so fun for me while the kids are having their nap and rest times for me to sit down and enjoy some type of special drink and just kind of reset before I have to start preparing and prepping for dinner and any nighttime activities. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out a new video every single week.